As a CPI came out on Tuesday, how was the market reacting several days later? We're going to go over that. How really is that housing market reacting to the CPI number? Stock market went one way, crypto market went another way. We're going to go over that as well as a couple other indicators showing that we're seeing a little division here in the United States. Next on Real Estate Daily, welcome everyone. My name is Troy, and every day we go over the latest news in real estate, the housing market, and mortgage. Now, before we jump into anything, can you hit that subscribe button? Boom, boom, boom. Let's jump into it. Now, I said this yesterday, and I kind of want to repeat myself. If you saw yesterday's video, then you know that the reason why we're seeing a surge in housing right now is because people are starting to get used to these interest rates. And with that being said, mortgage applications are up. The only thing that's really down is refis. And why is refis down? Because the mortgage rates have gone up, but people have just kind of embraced it on the purchase side, not so much the refi side. So if you were refining, a lot of people in January just jumped in the refi realm and started refining down. So if you had that 7% interest rate, now you got it down to 6.25. That's good. And then in certain areas down 5.5, 5.75, maybe even 6. So you had those rates going down on the refi side, but not really so much on the purchase side. We've seen them dip down, bump their head right at 5.75 or so, maybe 5.5 if you were to shop it really hard. And then you saw it rise again. Now that's closing in on the 6s, it's over 6+. But buyers or purchasers are out there and they're embracing it. They're saying, hey, I understand. Inflation really is not going away at the moment. It doesn't matter what the Fed says. The job market's really strong. We're going to see a consumer retail sales jumped as well. Everything keeps showing a strong market, and the Fed's been trying to destroy it, and they're unable to. So hopefully they've been talking about a soft landing, but a lot of other banks have been saying, nope, it's not going to be a soft landing. There's been a lot of layoffs, but job creation's there. I went over yesterday what I felt that was reality versus, what the numbers showed in jobs, but I digress. This is what's showing. It says inflation rose 0.5% in January, more than expected, up to 6.4 from a year ago. But again, we're definitely seeing a lot of a lot of what's happening here in the crypto breaking news. You see this? SEC charges Do Kwon with fraud in connection to Terra collapse. Wow, that's a stunning revelation in crypto. But I really digress. Let's jump into the next video, next slide. And it says consumer debt hits record 16.9 trillion and delinquencies also rise. I have begged everyone for the past 9 months, pleaded, get out of debt. If you can pay off the credit cards, pay them off, get out of debt, people. If especially adjustable debt. Now, I understand if you have a car loan and it's not adjustable, then you're perfectly fine. But if you have credit cards, you got to pay them down, because you're going to eventually only be paying interest, or interest is going to compound on top of principal, and you're only paying a partial interest. That's what happened in 2008, 2009, and that's where everything kind of exploded and the whole market took a collapse. Please pay it down. Be very cognizant of this. I know if you're in a bad situation, then talk to your credit card company. See if they can lower your debt. I know a lot of you out there, it's a bad phone call, but you know what? Way back in the day, I had to make that phone call, and they did something for me, because they'd rather that happen than bankruptcies go up, and that's what's happening. That's what will happen. Now, a couple things that are good here. It says consumer debt across all categories totaled 17 trillion, pretty much about up 1.3 trillion, which is about 6 or 7% from a year ago, as balances rose across all major categories. But here's the good part. It says mortgages, auto loans, and credit card delinquencies all increased, though to still low levels. So we haven't seen the explosion, but this can really happen in the next 3 to 4 months. If we see that there is going to be more inflation, that means more of your budget is being taken out of your pocket and applied to food or energy, which we know energy keeps going up. I'm telling you now, gas prices are going up. Well, then we're going to see that those people are hopefully able to make their mortgage payments. Please make your mortgage payment, because getting out of that mortgage and getting into rent is not, for most people, it's a sideways move, and one that turns, eviction. It could be ugly. I'm just saying, if you have that low payment, hug that low payment. I also tell people who ask me, hey, Troy, I'm in real bad situation. Roommates, it's not financial advice, but, rent out a room, if you have an extra room, whatever, bring in more people, make it easier. I know it's not the ideal living situation, but that is one of many different avenues that you can do. All right, next, retail sales jumped 3%, way over what was estimated, guys, way over. Again, people are buying things left and right. And I'm just saying, please don't use your credit cards. Pay with what you have. It's very telling that's going to happen out there, that, a lot of people that are making 100,000 or, six figures home, and they're living paycheck to paycheck. And I say, if you have one hiccup, it's going to wipe you out. Save money, do the right thing, make sure that you're just not getting yourself and drowning in debt. And last but not least, let's get into Optimum Mortgage. Here is what I continue to describe as a float up in mortgage rates. We saw, about a 5 basis points raise in conventional and about an 8 basis point raise in FHA. We're going up. Now, jumbo is a complete nightmare. It goes up 40 basis points one day, 35 the next. It just doesn't make any sense any way you look at it. But regardless of all of that, okay, this is what's important. People are still out there buying homes. There is no inventory. I see it. I do the inventory levels here in Southern California every single week, and inventory is down last week and the week before last. They just keep floating down because people know that if you sell your home, you're going into pretty much a parallel move in rental, if not higher. Or if you sell your home, where are you going to go? Here in Southern California, you're gonna have to move out of state, and you hopefully have a ton of equity and put a ton of money down on a house. But that's what you're seeing out there. And you just got to know that that's why inventory levels are low, and buyers out here are biting out at the chomp to get in a house. They don't want to have to deal with rising rents. So, well, thank you guys very much for joining me today. If you have any questions, please leave them below in the comment section. Otherwise, I will see you tomorrow.